Oh, hello. Welcome to Jono and Ellie's Magical Kitchen. I'm very excited for today's recipe because it's one of the Bard family's favorite ingredients, chocolates. So, we are making chocolate peanut butter Buckeyes. And so basically it's like a peanut butter with some confectioner sugar to kind of make it all delicious, and then wrapped all around in chocolate. So yeah, so I'm just finishing up my prep work. We like to prep everything to make it easy, but this is fancy baking chocolate, so it's a little bit more bitter. And we also have some really nice milk chocolate from the bulk section of Wegmans from about 3 years ago. Maybe not that one, but so we're gonna mix them together so that it's a little bit semi-sweet, basically, because we didn't have semi-sweet chips. So, all right, so let me finish cutting this up. So you basically need about 2 cups of chocolate. So yeah, so we're just chopping this up to use. Gotta be careful with the dogs. No dogs can eat chocolate because that's bad for them. They're very interested. Basically, anytime you chop anything in the kitchen, they come running. So, all right, so that's the prep work for the chocolate. We've already measured out our peanut butter, and we have 8 tablespoons of butter as well. So essentially the first step is throw the peanut butter, the actual butter, and some confectioner sugar, so powdered sugar, all into a bowl, and we'll mix it up. This step, really easy. We're just gonna throw everything into the bowl. All right, so that's the butter softened. So 3 cups of powdered sugar. And this is a half cup, so we'll do 6 of these. All right, so, well, 1-ish.
I think this is a pretty forgiving recipe, so it's okay if you're not exact.
2. So 3.
Halfway there.
4. 5. That's a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Hope we
6.
Hope we didn't sugar for nails. 6. All right. So that's in there, and now we're gonna. Oh, there's also a little bit of vanilla as well. So a 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. So just a little bit of a dash, just to give it a hint. So once again, I'm using Ellie's homemade vanilla, so actual vanilla beans in a not totally bottom shelf vodka. Just to put those 2 together, so you can make your own vanilla at home, and this vanilla will last you forever.
Forever.
And it smells so good. It smells great. So a little bit of splash there. I'm not gonna measure. Ooh, that's a lot. So we measured out. So we're using smooth, creamy peanut butter, just so the consistency is nice all the way through.
Yeah.
You can use chunky if you want, or crunchy, chunky. I don't know.
Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Yeah, whatever you want. It's whatever your favorite is. So I'll pour that in there. I'm using my favorite spatula today. So peanut butter everywhere. This is the OXO Good Grip $8.99 spatula, as tested on America's Touch Kitchen. Gonna incorporate it. And I'm actually gonna use an actual mixer too.
You can use the beater blades to wipe off your spatula.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right. Don't want to waste any, so we're gonna do that. All right.
Wait, I've never seen someone take the instead of using the spatula, like rubbing the spatula.
It's fine. All right. Okay, back up a little.
Back up.
It's real close. Okay. I want it to spread everywhere before we get peanut butter in your camera lens. All right. 3, 2. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So, it should, I think, look something like this. It's not going to come together really. So the next step is actually you're going to use your hands. So we got to make sure we washed our hands. A bunch of dough and squeeze it together. And this is completely up to you how big you want to make them. Don't make them too big though, because that's going to be kind of difficult to eat.
Yeah, these are like a 2-bite snack.
Yeah, so that's kind of the size that I'm looking for. So, and then we're gonna roll them out onto our baking sheet.
And you want to roll them a little, not too quick, but like, because you can feel the butter and the peanut butter kind of getting melty.
Yeah.
So you want them to get a little melty so that it'll all come together into a ball form, but you don't want them to get all oozy and gooey everywhere.
Right, because your hands are going to transfer the heat, and you don't want them to melt, basically. So, or melt too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. All right. So this is probably fast forward this step. Okay, so that's got one more. As you can see, the sizes may vary a little depending on if I was paying attention or not. But yeah, this in general, this is what you're going for. So nothing too crazy, pretty simple. You know, if you kind of see some that are way too bumpy, like I didn't roll that one enough, so I'm gonna re-roll that. But yeah, other than that, we're gonna throw that into the freezer, and that sits in the freezer for about 30 minutes until it's really firm, so that way it doesn't melt when you pour the chocolate onto it. So yeah, so come back 30 minutes, I'll show you the chocolate step. All right, welcome back. We got about 10 minutes left on the chilling of the peanut butter balls in the freezer. So I got my double boiler going, and if you don't have a double boiler, you don't have to. That's just what we're using to melt the chocolate. You can do it in the microwave. Just be really careful to like change the power setting on your microwave so you don't burn the chocolate. I think we usually do what, 50% power for a longer time.
30-second intervals, and you stir it to check how much it melts each time.
Yeah. So now we're just gonna add the chocolate right on top. And we're gonna add, so that's the chocolate wafers, and this is the bitter chocolate. So we're gonna add that too. So you can already see within a few seconds it's already starting to melt. So that's really good. So we're just gonna keep it moving, keep it moving. Once the Buckeyes are out of the freezer, then we dip it into the liquid chocolate. So that's the plan. All right, it is almost go time. So you can see the chocolate is sufficiently melted and nice and luxurious. That's what we want to see. Nice and liquidy. So we're going to keep the heat on so it doesn't start firming back up, but turn it to a really low setting so it doesn't scorch at all. Our peanut butter balls are out of the freezer now. They were in for about 25-30 minutes or so. Nice and hard, so they're ready to go into the chocolates. So make sure, I'm using a toothpick, make sure you get it nice and firm so that way when you put it into the chocolate, you get a nice coating. Uh-oh. Yep, nice coating there. All right, so that's one. All right, so the first one came out okay, but we want more chocolate on there because we all love chocolate and we want it to be as little peanut butter showing as possible. So I'm gonna really kind of dredge it through there. All right, there we go. It's a little bit better. All right, so I'm gonna bring it down. Cool. And next. All right, so now we got to move quickly. So we'll probably not do a time lapse for this whole thing. We'll probably just do one more or two more, and that way I can show you the end product because it's basically the same thing for each step. Ooh, that's hot. All right, and this is the last one we're gonna do. So it's a little bit challenging because as the balls have been out for a little bit longer, they've melted a little bit. So I'm gonna do my best. This one's a little bit tough, so I'm just gonna wing it. But so the original recipe said to put a toothpick in every single one before you put it in the freezer. We didn't want to waste that many toothpicks, so we didn't do that. So it pretty much worked though. The last two got a little bit wobbly, but it's okay. But yeah, so let me bring this over here now that they're all done. And you can kind of see that the chocolate is already really setting pretty well. So, yeah, these are the Buckeyes. So, I guess the most important thing to do now is to actually taste it, because what's the point of making delicious treats if you don't try it? Because I still have to go for a run, I'm going to do a small one. So I'm going to eat this one. But let's give it a taste test. Did you hear that crunch? That was real good. Oh my god, that's so good. It's perfect, like chocolate and peanut butter and sugary, and that was really good. So, all right. I'm gonna eat it. Hold on. It was real good. Wow,
Didn't
delicious.
even give me a taste.
No, there's plenty for you. So, yeah, thank you for joining us on Jono and Ellie's Kitchen today. We hope you like the Buckeyes. I hope we make them. It's a great recipe for chocolate lovers, because I know we have a lot of chocolate lovers in the family. So, yeah, thank you for coming and tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the beautiful weekend. So, thanks. This isn't part of the real video, but we had a little extra chocolate, and I had an idea. Banana. Cut it in half. Peel it quick. Right? So you got your banana. You got all this leftover chocolate. Put it in the chocolate. Let's roll it all around. It's gonna be really good, guys. Oh yeah.
Jay, you can freeze those?
That's what I was gonna do.
Oh.
Look at that. It's not that appealing, but it's gonna be very delicious. So, chocolate covered bananas, recipe number 2. There you go. Anyway,
So long.